I'm the farm manager here at Ballandry Pastoral. We run a beef and sheep grazing operation. We grow a lot of fodder crops. We're trying to create a self-sustaining system. Yeah, so we're just trying to create a balanced system where we work with the environment, not against it, to encourage growth, not overgraze paddocks, always keep plenty of ground cover, like work with the environment to future-proof ourselves and drought-proof ourselves. Previous management and alongside the owners have been committed to planting for a long time, planting out all the creeks, all the hills that are pretty unproductive, just to protect them really, and create wildlife corridors and which also act as a windbreaks for the livestock and also for the native wildlife and plants. The plantations act as like shelter belts, shade in the summer. The creek systems aren't eroded. The water quality is really, really good.
So this property was involved in the Birds on Farms monitoring back in the mid-1990s and then rejoined again around 2017 to continue that monitoring. You can see that the habitat is already providing good shelter and food resources for birds. We've seen quite a number of birds here today using tree hollows and feeding on the flowering trees as well. So historically, we have mostly focused on the bird monitoring as part of Birds on Farms, but in the past few years we've expanded and we have an on-ground restoration component, working with landholders to identify what restoration they can do to provide habitat for birds and other wildlife. Part of the restoration that can be done on this property is to fix up some of the fences and allow the understory to grow and do a bit of infill planting as well where needed. And then also identifying areas where we can establish new plantations, such as on top of the hills and connecting and expanding on existing plantations as well to promote that connectivity in the landscape. This property is a great example of what can be achieved, and working with the land and the farming practices to also provide habitat for birds and other wildlife. It's been amazing.
I've worked in a lot of different systems all around Australia, and I'm sort of seeing the benefits that are already there when it might take 5 years to really see a difference if you plan it out, but you've only got to come to a place like this that's been doing it for 30 or 40 and you can see it. It's a pretty small sacrifice really for unproductive land, that has a huge benefit for the ecosystem, and as a farmer, we've got to work with it, not against it. So that's sort of, I think, the way of the future really.